let me see if I can try taking this picture one more time without giving myself a double chin. Shoot. I can't tell. I can't tell. That's good enough. Hi guys, it's Ginger. I am here today with an unboxing. It is a double unboxing of the Retro Pop Box. Retro Pop Box 1970s box and 1980s box. Because I decided I liked last month's 70s box so much, I decided to try the 80s box as well because I mostly grew up in the 80s. I was a small child to a teenager in the 80s. So, I don't know what that voice was about. Anyway, we're going to start by, I lost my words. Hello, where did they go? We're going to start in date order. I don't know what the hell happened to what I was going to say. Anyway, so we'll start with the 70s box. So, Retro Pop Box 1970s. Let's open it up. Let's open it up. And here's the inside of it. It's nicely wrapped. It has a sticker that says, "Can you dig it?" Alright, so, and I learned last time that they put the card on the very bottom underneath the tissue paper. So, you get a t-shirt, an exclusive t-shirt every time. So, let's open it up and get to looking at it. And the first thing I see is the t-shirt. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's a Sanford and Son t-shirt. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love this show. It may have something to do with the fact that my mother went into labor while they were watching Sanford and Son. I love this show. Sanford and Son Salvage. Secondhand antiques we sell and buy junk. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. And it's maroon, which is a very good color. And it's gonna fit me. Yes! Yes! I'm stupid. I'm so excited. Oh, it's the simple things that excite me. Alright. Let's see what the card says. Highlight your inner picker by honoring the ultimate salvage icon. You big dummy. I love it! Alright, the next item is, ooh dear, it's a shot glass. Oh my goodness. This is a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. Can you see that? Oh, it's got it on both sides. This is a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon shot glass. Look at that. It's got some holographic action happening, it looks like, in the viewfinder. And it says, now you can sync the album and your tequila to the Wizard of Oz. That's cool. I like that. Set this back here so I don't get knocked over. Alright, the next item is, whoa, my box is about to fall over. Stay put, man. Oh dear. This is from the Land of the Lost, which was never my favorite show. They always played it on Saturday mornings from what I can remember, at least when I was a little kid. I don't know about later on. This is also from Sid and Marty Croft, Land of the Lost. I think they also did H.R. Pufnstuf. I can't remember. I liked H.R. Pufnstuf, but I never cared for Land of the Lost, but my dad loved it. So I've seen a few episodes. So here's some little toys. What are these? Urban vinyl bobbleheads. Okay. Yeah, I remember that little. It was a little monkey man or something. I don't know. Shaka? Yeah, this was never my favorite show, but these are pretty cool to have. It says here, Land of the Lost. Oh, and these are by Funko. Which I guess if I had read the whole thing, it says Funko right there. Shaka and Sleestack versus Shaka. Cute versus cute. So, here's that. This is definitely 70s, honey. Definitely 70s. Next item is, let me pull it out and see. Oh! It is a... it's a magnet, a refrigerator magnet for CB Action. I get it now. Sorry, it took me a second. CB Action. CBs were extremely popular in the 70s, and I remember that because my parents and my grandparents had a CB in each one of their cars, and so I guess there used to be a magazine called CB Action. It says, yes, this was a real magazine. And no, you can't borrow my back issues. It says it's an exclusive. That is hysterical. I remember it because I don't remember what my handle was, but everybody had a handle. And you may recognize the term handles from back when AOL Instant Messenger was the big thing, and that's what everybody's users' names were called, were handles. But back then you had handles, and I remember my dad had a VW Superbug, I think it was, and it was orange. So his handle was Orange Bug. I don't remember what my mom's was. My grandfather's handle was Steamroller, I do believe. And my grandmother was like Cupcake or something like that. I can't remember what my mom's was. This is hysterical. This is Breaker in 10-4. UHF, what it means and how it affects you. We tell TIV and how to beat it. Rig test, Midland 13895 and Bingle Base. Legislation, the latest news. How hysterical! I did not know. They actually, well, it makes sense. CBs were very, very popular back in the 70s. That's how people communicated. This was before cell phones and all that kind of stuff. And you wanted to be, if you were going on a long trip, which was one of the reasons why my parents and my grandparents had CB radios, was that they traveled for work a lot. So they wanted to be able to stay in communication. It was before cell phones, when the only other means of communication was nothing. Because it's not like you could pull over and use a payphone and call somebody's cell phone. So you had to use CBs. So that's cool. Alright, the last item. I love these boxes. I got a bug flying around me. Okay, this last one also says that it is a retro box exclusive. Retro pop box exclusive. And I remember, I mean, I don't specifically remember this because I think this was probably before my time, and it is so awesome. I guess it's just a little card. And this was a big deal. It was Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs. Tennis in the Astrodome. It happened here in Houston, the Houston Astrodome. It's 6:30 p.m. Thursday, September 20th. The Battle of the Sexes. For $100,000, winner takes all. Tickets were $6, $10, $15, and $20. Look at that. That's amazing. It says Retro Box Fun Fact. Bobby Riggs was once the #1 tennis player in the world in the 1940s and was not a fan of the female game. In his retirement at the age of 55, he challenged and beat the #1 female player in 1973, Margaret Court, and was thrust into the national spotlight once again. He then challenged Billie Jean King, an outspoken female activist and supporter of women's tennis, in a continuation of the series. The match that was televised worldwide and watched by more than 90 million people. King worried that a loss by her would set the equality fight back 50 years, so she treated the match as real versus an exhibition and won convincingly. While King's fight related more to equality in sports, her message and approach to the match and the movement were supported outside of sports, and the match became the rallying point of women's liberation. Yep. Wow. So that's everything that's in the 70s. Good God. So that's everything in the Retro Pop 70s box for July. That was a mouthful. Alright, so let me put this stuff back in here. Let's open the 80s box. Alright, so here's what the 80s box looks like. Let's open it up. I already broke the seal. Yeah. You open it up. It's got the yellow tissue paper and it says "to the max." Alright, so. And like I said, I remember a lot more of the 80s because I was, in 1980, I was, what? I was 6? I was 7 in well, depending on what time of the year. I was 6 or 7 years old in 1980. The first thing I see here is an advertisement for the 80s cruise. It says 7 days and nights of live music and excellent events that make you feel like you never left the raddest decade ever. Wow. This is the lineup is Cheap Trick, Belinda Carlisle, Survivor, Debbie Gibson, Morris Day and the Time, Colin Hay of Men at Work, Howard Jones, Berlin, The Romantics, Men Without Hats, Farrington and Mann, The Original When in Rome, Tiffany as special guest host. This is Jesse's Girl, the Ultimate 80s Party Band, Alonzo Bowden, the comedian, hosted by original MTV VJs Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, and Alan Hunter. How funny! February 11th through 18th of next year. The card down at the very bottom. Alright, so, like I said, like in the other one, the Sanford and Son t-shirt. Alright, all these have exclusive t-shirts in them every month. So, the one I see on top is a t-shirt. And it says, oh my God. It says, "Nobody puts baby in a corner." Oh my God! And it has the lift from the end of Dirty Dancing. Oh my God. I love these boxes! Oh, just for these t-shirts alone. Look at that. Yeah, you can see the silhouettes. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Yes. I love it. Exclusive design, retro pop box. Okay. It says Dirty Dancing exclusive t-shirt. Regardless if you relate more to Baby or to Johnny, we know you'll have the time of your life in this t-shirt. And it's an exclusive design. Alright. The next item I see. This is what I was talking about last time. That Topps made other trading cards. And here's some right here. Garbage Pail Kids trading cards. I remember these. I was never into the Garbage Pail Kids. But it says here on the back, Retro Pop Box Fun Fact. These cards, produced by popular trading card company Topps, were first released in 1985. These characters had names that were hilarious word plays meant to parody the Cabbage Patch Kids, which were hugely popular at the time. Yeah, they were. They became so popular themselves that they were banned in many schools because they were distracting students during class. How funny. Let's open it up and take a look and see what we got. These are all stickers. Ooh. 2 of these. Let's see. Okay, I remember this too. Because you would, on the back side of them, you would collect pieces, different pieces, to make a puzzle off of the back side of them. And these are all copyrighted 1986. Topps chewing gum. That's what they're copyrighted. So yeah, these originally came with a stick of chewing gum on them. So the first one is Losing Faith. The next one is Harry Harriet. And then the last one is Reese Pieces, which is a little boy who's a little puzzle. Oh, wow. The next one is, it says a risky business starter set. Glasses, check. Tube socks, check. Parents out of town, check. Hugh Bob Seger and dance like nobody's watching. How funny. The next one is, they put a candy, usually, in some of these. Like, they didn't have a candy in the 70s one, but they've got a candy in this one. And I've never heard of this candy. This is Throwback Runts. Fruit-shaped candy. I've never heard of this candy. Let's see. Now you can say you've had your daily serving of fruit with these candies that had their launch in 1982. And you know, sometimes certain candies are sold in certain parts of the country and sometimes they're not sold in other parts. So I've never heard of Runts. Open them up and taste them. Oh, these are like, okay. I've seen candies like these before. Like there's a banana shaped candy and something that's probably supposed to be shaped like a strawberry. And these purple ones are probably supposed to be shaped like grapes. I remember candies that look like this, but I don't remember them being called Runts. But yeah, there's like a, let me get one. There's a candy in here that's banana shaped. See, there's something flying around me. See, there's the banana shaped candy. So I remember candies like these, but I don't remember them being called Runts. Okay. Anyway, the last item is a quote from my favorite book growing up. Outstanding movie. That's thunder you hear. If you can hear that. Outstanding movie with some of Hollywood's future big, huge stars. Stay Gold, Pony Boy, from The Outsiders. Hope you can see that. It's a gold leafing lettering Anyway, it's my favorite book. I read this book for the first time in junior high. I read it from cover to cover in one sitting. And I love the movie. Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Ralph Macchio, C. Thomas Howell. I know I'm forgetting somebody else. Rob Lowe. And Diane Lane was in it too. The Outsider's foil print. It says, put this on your wall right away. Do it for Johnny. And it, ooh! That candy's tart! Woo! It's like sweet tarts on the inside after you get through the hard coating. Woo! Anyway, this is an exclusive to the box. So that is everything for the July Retro Pop Box. I really like this one too. They're just killing me on the t-shirts, man. Killing me on the t-shirts. I love both these boxes. I think I like the 70s box a whole lot more than the 80s box. I don't know. But there are some really cute things in the 80s box. And I love this t-shirt. Love this t-shirt. I mean, I love Dirty Dancing. When I was in I think it was junior high, me and my friends, my one particular friend, we would go over to my house every day after school and we'd watch the end of Dirty Dancing. And we'd watch it over and over and over and over again. I'm sure my mom wished that the VHS tape would break because we would watch it over and over again. And we'd squeal in the same part every time. It's fun around me. And love that movie. Love Sanford and Son. Love it, love it, love it. I would recommend these boxes. Absolutely. Now, I'm not going to really try the 90s box because I wasn't a kid in the 90s. But judging from the quality of the 70s and 80s boxes, I think that I could recommend the 90s boxes as well. Because I was in high school in the 90s, I really wasn't a child. I was a teenager in the 90s, in the early 90s anyway. I was a teenager and then an adult in the 90s. Not really going to try the 90s box. So, anyway, because yeah, I was in high school and college and then adulthood in the 90s. So, but I'm sure it's probably pretty stinking great too. And they just started having a 90s box, I think, last month. So, don't forget to give these a thumbs up if you enjoy these unboxings. These were both the July boxes for the Retro Pop Box 70s and 80s boxes. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, let me put my glasses on so I can see you. Oh, what lovely people. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you can come back and sit for a spell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.